Stephanie McMahon kicked off the festivities at Sunday night's half of WrestleMania 40. What does that mean for her future and the future of WWE? Upon resigning as WWE co-CEO in January 2023, Stephanie seemed to truly be gone from the company where she had worked basically her entire life.
I never wanted to do anything else, really. Actually, I've worked for the company since I was about 12.
But then she sent shockwaves through the wrestling world when she attended the 2024 Hall of Fame ceremony on April 5th. She then made an even more official appearance on April 7th, stepping into the ring for her first promo since leading the crowd in a "Thank You Vince" chant in July 2022. After greeting the Philadelphia faithful, Stephanie acknowledged that WrestleMania 40 is the first iteration of the event in the Paul Levesque era. She's been married to Paul "Triple H" Levesque since 2003. She took a page out of her husband's book and repeated his iconic "Are you ready?" catchphrase. Stephanie noted that she was present backstage for the first WrestleMania in 1985, when she was just 8 years old. She's either been present or involved in almost every WrestleMania since, but did not appear at last year's WrestleMania 39, and has been largely absent from WWE in the year plus since. Stephanie is corporate officer number 3 in former WWE employee Janelle Grant's lawsuit against her father, former WWE chairman Vince McMahon, former head of talent relations John Laurinaitis, and WWE itself. That lawsuit resulted in Vince stepping down from his positions in WWE and TKO Group Holdings, but his daughter is now back on camera. Vince's January 2024 resignation was the second time he stepped away from WWE. He briefly retired in July 2022 after an initial set of allegations about sexual misconduct and hush money payments was reported by the Wall Street Journal. But Vince was back in power by January 2023, overseeing what would eventually be WWE's merger with UFC. Within days of Vince's 2023 return, Stephanie announced her resignation as co-CEO. The proximity between her father's return and Stephanie's abrupt departure seemed to suggest a potential connection. Stephanie and Vince are widely believed to have a strained professional relationship, since the gaps in Stephanie's involvement at WWE have coincided with reports of Vince's backstage politics for the past 2 years. Rumors of a soured relationship began in 2022, prior to Vince's first departure, when reports of Vince blaming Stephanie for poor ad revenue numbers during her time as WWE's chief brand officer came out amid Stephanie taking a leave of absence from WWE that May. Stephanie has never officially cited her father as a motivator for either her short 2022 break from the WWE or her January 2023 resignation. However, if the circumstantial evidence is true and there is legitimately a tense relationship between father and daughter, Stephanie's WrestleMania 40 return may imply that Vince is disconnected enough from WWE that Stephanie feels comfortable enough to be publicly associated with the company once again. The Paul Levesque era comment is also interesting, given that her husband has been head of WWE Creative since July 2022, eventually settling into the title of Chief Content Officer. Seemingly, that would mean that WrestleMania 39 would have been the first Mania of his era, but clearly not. Vince's January 2023 comeback apparently wasn't just to oversee the merger, and there were multiple reports that he was getting involved in creative. In the wake of the Grant lawsuit, TKO Holdings CEO Ari Emanuel blocked Vince from interfering in Levesque's creative and ultimately asked him to resign. Stephanie's christening of this new era suggests Triple H now has primary, if not full, ownership over WWE's storylines, and Vince doesn't.
Anytime we get to work together, we have a blast.
Whether Stephanie's appearance was a one-off cameo or indicative of a more permanent return to WWE is unclear, but it's a definite signal that WWE is operating independently of its disgraced ex-CEO. During the post-show press conference Sunday night, he didn't say anything to discourage this reading of events, and he seemed to suggest that Stephanie is back in WWE for good now that her father is out of it. He said, "So great to have her back home, to have her back here, to see the doubt leave her by being here for the last few days, to see her confidence come back, and to know that this is her home. All of you, all of us, all this business, it's her home. And as much anybody on the planet, she belongs here. And hopefully, she knows that now."